Pauper Goblins is back. We're making infinite mana and infinite damage using Skirk Prospector, Putrid Goblin, and first day of class alongside a brand new card from Tarkir Dragonstorm, Stormshriek Feral. Let's go check it out. Today we're playing the Pauper Goblins deck, and it's all based around first day of class. An instant for 1 and a red. Whenever a creature you control enters the battlefield, it enters with a +1/+1 counter and it gains haste. And then it has learn, which means that it can get lesson cards from your sideboard, or you could discard a card and draw a card. Okay, well this is a pretty exciting card. Well, what can we do with that +1/+1 counter? The idea is that you would like to combine it with Putrid Goblin, this card that has Undying. So for 1 and a black, it's a 2/2 with Undying. So when it dies, it will come back with a -1/-1 counter. And if you've played a first day of class, it gets a +1/+1 counter. Well, if a creature has a -1/-1 counter and a +1/+1 counter, they wash out. So it will just have 0 counters on it. So that's interesting. Well, what can we do with that? Well, you'd like to combine it with Skirk Prospector. So that way you can make infinite red mana, because you could sacrifice the Putrid Goblin, it will come back, the counters wash out, you could sacrifice it again, and so on and so forth. So now you have infinite red mana. Well, what can you do with that? Well, recently, Deadly Dispute was banned and this deck took a hit. Alright, well, there's no way of getting around that. But with the Stormshriek Feral from Tarkir Dragonstorm, you now have a card built into your deck that replaces Deadly Dispute that's also a win condition. So the adventure side is that you could play this card as a sorcery, discard a card and draw 2, or you could play it later as an infinite mana outlet to win the game. And it has haste built in, but it would gain it from first day of class anyway. So you play this 3/3 flying haste, you dump infinite red mana into the firebreathing ability, and you attack for lethal. Alternatively, you could play Goblin Matron and then search out your Dark Dweller Oracle to exile your entire library and then play your entire library until you hit a makeshift munitions, and then you could sacrifice the same Putrid Goblin over and over again to deal infinite damage without using combat. So that is the idea behind this deck list today. And why is this deck back? Because it hasn't really been around for much of the last year, in my opinion. And the reason why is the Brute Scale combo deck was the same deck, but better. It was a 2-card combo that made infinite things but didn't use the graveyard. This is a 3-card combo between Skirk Prospector, Putrid Goblin, and then first day of class. So you were able to have a combo with just the Sadistic Glee and Basking Brood Scale, but that's banned. So this deck is now back, which is exciting because I think that this is a core Pauper combo deck in the format. That said, it did lose Deadly Dispute, but I think that Stormshriek Feral from Tarkir Dragonstorm is actually the perfect card for this strategy, and I'm excited to showcase it for you today. So if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate your support. But without any further ado, we're going to hop on into that first match. I'll see you there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like the epicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via the epicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1. We're on the draw. I will keep this hand. I have no idea what our opponent is playing today, but I think that this is a pretty reasonable hand, so we'll see what happens. Basic Mountain into Voldaren Epicure. So we're on the draw against Mono Red. Not a matchup I really want to face when I'm playing the Goblins deck, and I kept sort of a slow hand. So our hand would have been very good against a blue deck or a mid-range deck with a lot of interaction. It looks like they're actually on the Madness Burned. Oh, no, this is Dredge. This is the Dredge deck. Okay. First day of class was a good draw. We'll play the Basic Mountain and Ichor Wellspring. So my deck is actually sort of modified today for the Dredge matchup. I am playing 2 main deck copies of Bojuka Bog, and I have 2 Nile Spellbomb in the sideboard. So Faithless Looting, they're digging for that Stinkweed Imp here. Molten Gatekeeper and a Street Wraith. Another Voldaren Epicure. I go to 17. And an Insolent Neonate. Alright, so I have all of the pieces of the combo. I just have to assemble it at this point. So we're going to play Goblin Matron. And now I will go grab the Skirk Prospector And I believe we have a win next turn. I might need to draw an untapped land, actually. They use a blood token, and they bring back the Molten Gatekeeper. So I'm trying to think through this. So I'll play the Skirk Prospector off the mountain. We'll sacrifice the Goblin Matron to make a red. I'll play Unearth. And now they're currently unearthing a second Molten Gatekeeper. So I'm going to take some damage here. I go to 13. And now they're going to attack. This is 6, 8, 9. So I'll go to 4. I'm fine with that. No blocks. So I don't know if we have it. If we draw an untapped land, I'm pretty sure we do. Another Goblin Matron. So I'll play the Skirk Prospector. We'll sacrifice the Goblin Matron. This makes a red. I can now unearth to bring back the Goblin Matron. Ooh, I forgot about the second Goblin. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure we have it. So now I'll go grab the Putrid Goblin. And we'll, yeah, we have it. So now I will sacrifice the red here. And here's a cool trick for you. So you could sacrifice the Putrid Goblin, and then with this persist ability on the stack, you can play the first day of class. It will select the Introduction to Prophecy out of the sideboard, the lesson card that you can grab with first day of class. So now the persist ability resolves, and when this resolves, it checks and sees if first day of class has been played, and it has. So now you'll see that the -1/-1 counter and the +1/+1 counter have washed, and now we have the ability to make infinite red mana. Okay, so we're going to do that just over and over again. And then I'll show my opponent makeshift munitions to show them that I have infinite damage. I don't know if they'll concede. They might. But if not, I'm just going to keep on clicking and eventually we'll win the game. And they do the nice thing and concede. Alright, so I will now bring in my 2 copies of Nile Spellbomb. I already have these 2 main deck copies of Bazooka Bog, which are a nice inclusion for us here today. I don't think that this is a great duress matchup, so we could probably get rid of that. I like the Cart Clan Shamans in this matchup, although they don't hit the, what is it called? Sneaky Snacker. But it does hit Voldaren Epicures and other small creatures, so it's interesting. It might just be the one Cart Clan Shaman. Let's try this. What was a slow hand ended up drawing into a couple cards that allowed us to a win, which was nice. Game number 2, we've opened up our Bazooka Bog, but I have no other lands. I don't think I'm actually allowed to keep this. Alright, so this hand has the combo outside of first day of class. We'll keep this, bottom the extra copy of Skirk Prospector, and we'll see what we can make happen here. Basic Mountain into Faithless Looting. Stinkweed Imp and a Sneaky Snacker, so their hand is considerably better this game. We'll play the Skirk Prospector, pass the turn. Conduit Pylons, okay. They surveil away a Basing Mountain and a Scrapwork Mutt. Discards Dread Return, and then I imagine they're going to dredge the Stinkweed Imp, and they do. Rakdos Carnarium. We'll play this in case I draw first day of class, and pass the turn. Because if I draw first day of class, we actually just have a win. They Faithless Looting, and they're going to bring back the Sneaky Snacker because they have nothing to dredge here. They discard Stinkweed Imp and a Dread Return. And now they attack. I'll take it. I'll go to 18. Wow, we ripped the first day of class. You have to be kidding me. Holy moly, talk about the run goods. Okay, so I'm going to play the Putrid Goblin. And now we will sacrifice the Goblin. First day of class. They only have a colorless land open. So they would have to have a Fairy Macabre here in order to stop me. And we have infinite mana on turn 3. And I have the Goblin Matron, so I'm going to be able to go grab the Goblin Dark Dweller, and then, you know, exile my whole deck and play it. So we'll play the Goblin Matron, and now we'll search our library. This grabs the Dark Dweller Oracle. We'll play the Oracle, and now we'll make more mana. Whoops, I didn't mean to sacrifice the Goblin Matron. Oh, okay, I can undo that. That's good. And our opponent just concedes the match instead. Alright, well, that's lovely. That was a very fast and easy match. I enjoy those. We're 1-0 to start off this Pauper League with Goblins. Stick around for match number 2. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Round number 2, we're on the draw. I will keep this hand. We have 2 of the 3 combo pieces. It seems reasonable. Okay, so this land either means Turbofog or Tron. I'll play a bridge, pass the turn. I did not really want to draw land number 5 there. I was hoping for a spell, and it looks like we're facing Tron today. Goblin Matron. Okay. Let's play Duress and see what they're up to. Moment's Peace, Weather the Storm, Impulse, and a map. We'll take the map and play Skirk Prospector, pass the turn. End step, they play an Impulse. So at this point, we're a first day of class away from winning. They find a basic island. We'll attack with the Skirk Prospector. Hiya, swing batter, play Mountain, and play the Goblin Matron. So I'll say yes, and we'll go grab the Dark Dweller Oracle, pass the turn. I'm going to guess that they're going to play the other copy of Impulse now, and they do. If they tap out for the Murmuring Mystic, if we were to draw first day of class, that would be a wonderful opening. They find another piece of Tron, and they don't tap out. Chromatic Star. We'll play Great Furnace, move to combat, swing. They take 2. We'll play the Dark Dweller Oracle, and Chromatic Star. I think I would like to hold back the Skirk Prospector in case they end up having, like, teachings into Breath Weapon. We'll pass the turn. And they just don't do anything. And they naturally drew Tron. That's not good for me. There's a Murmuring Mystic. So we know 2 of the 4 cards in their hand. If I draw the first day of class, I'm probably just going to go for the win. Duress, a wonderful draw here. Let's make a red and draw a card off the Chromatic Star. Redraw Bazooka Bog. Okay. I think I'd like to fire off the Duress here. See what they're up to. Crop Rotation, Moment's Peace. The Crop Rotation would stop me from winning. So I think we take that. Because it goes and grabs Bazooka Bog. So they have Tron plus 2 green spells. I think I'm going to use the floating mana here, and we will exile, or we'll sacrifice the Goblin Matron, and exile our top card. We can play it, and it's a bridge. So we'll play the bridge. They don't have red mana, so I think I'll play out the second Skirk Prospector here, pass the turn. Because next turn I could sacrifice the Skirk Prospector to dig a little deeper with the Dark Dweller Oracle. They Moment's Peace to create a bird, that's fine. They drew Muldrifter. Okay, good draw for them. They play Urza's Tower. We didn't know about that, so that's a card that they drew off the Muldrifter. So we know 2 of the 3 cards in their hand. And now they're attacking. I can just block the Mystic with the Dark Dweller Oracle, and we'll take 1. Another land. Okay. I'm going to use the Dark Dweller Oracle to sacrifice the Skirk Prospector. We'll exile the top card. Ichor Wellspring. We'll play that. Trigger the Ichor Wellspring. Okay, so we found the Stormshriek Feral. I don't think it's a card I'd like to play right now. I will play Great Furnace and the Putrid Goblin. Pass the turn. We're just waiting on a copy of First Day of Class. I've seen almost 33% of my library. They flash back the Moment's Peace to create another bird. They drew Impulse. Okay. We still know 2 of the 4 cards out of their hand here. And it looks like they're going to attack for 4 damage in the air. I'll go to 15. 3 mana in their main phase for a Ghostly Flicker. They're going to blink the Island and Muldrifter. I feel like our opponent's been running a little good here, but, that happens in Magic. I, ripped the first day of class in match number 1. Another Putrid Goblin. I think we're going to use the Stormshriek Feral here as flush out to discard the Mountain and draw 2. And that's a first day of class. So we have the win here, assuming that they don't have a counter spell. Play first day of class. 4 mana. They have a prohibit. Okay. Play Bojuka Bog. Exile their graveyard. And I'll play another Putrid Goblin. Pass the turn. So now they're attacking for 7 in the air. I'm pretty close to dead. So we might have to try to use this makeshift munitions to stay alive. They play the Urza's Power Plant. Skirk Prospector. Play the munitions. And we'll play Skirk Prospector. Pass the turn. Mystical Teachings. So that does create lethal. They find another Teachings. They play that Teachings for an unwind. So this way they have protection to stop me from winning. So I'm going to target the Mulldrifter here. We'll sacrifice Ichor Wellspring. I'll draw a card. Another Skirk Prospector. I'll use the munitions again to kill Mulldrifter, sacrificing Great Furnace. And now they would put me to 1 on their turn. Prophetic Prism. So this will give them mana that isn't green or blue, which they've been struggling with all game. So if I want to win this, we have 1 Duress left on our main deck. So I'd have to find the single Duress and a first day of class on our turn. So it's not likely. We'll take 7 down to 1. Pulse of Marasa. This will get back the Mulldrifter. And they play the Mulldrifter. They could still play Unwind off of Urza's Tower and the Prophetic Prism. We'll go to my turn, and then we have to figure out if we can possibly win. Alright, so step 1, I will sacrifice a Putrid Goblin, and then we'll exile the top card. Drawing a land for turn did not help, especially a tap land. Unearth. Okay. We'll sacrifice Putrid Goblin again. We hit the first day of class. So if I was lucky enough to hit the final Duress, we have 35 cards. There's 1 Duress in the main deck. We could win this. I think I'm supposed to sacrifice the Putrid Goblin here because I can unearth it back later. Okay, let's see it. Duress. Bojuka Bog, that doesn't help me. Sacrifice a Skirk Prospector. We'll get rid of Putrid Goblin, I guess. And then I'll sacrifice the Prospector. We need to hit that last Duress here. A Stormshriek Feral. I don't think we can do it. At this point, we just have to hope our opponent messes up. We'll play first day of class. And they know how to cast Unwind. Alright, so we'll go to game number 2. We'll bring in Pyroblast and Duress. I wonder if you want the Nile Spell Bombs, because they are a deck that uses their graveyard for value. But the question is, what are we taking out? Because we're at 67 right now, which is a pretty high count. And we have a lot of cards that we need in order to win. You could just try taking out Ichor Wellsprings. Like, you're bringing in Nile Spell Bombs. Like, it's a value card, but I don't know if we're trying to play that game here. Maybe Nile Spell Bomb is wrong. Maybe, like, 1 Goblin Matron? I'm not sure. It's either that or a land. Like, some lists do play 18 lands, but I think against a control deck, you would want to hit your lands. We'll try this. Game 2. Sure, keep. We'll play a bridge, pass. Basic Island, into Expedition Map. Okay. We draw a Feral. We'll play Putrid Goblin, pass the turn. They cycle Lorien Revealed, so they did not have a second land here. Another Putrid Goblin. Okay. Swing. I am the beatdown. We'll play Goblin Matron. Is this worthy of a Hydroblast? Looks like it is. Okay, so Blue Elemental Blast, same card. Pass the turn. We draw another Stormshriek Feral. They did not have land number 3. We'll go to combat. Swing. I will play the Stormshriek Feral. I can't talk. Stormshriek Feral as Flush Out. Discard the Eviscerator's Insight. We did not hit a land. I'll pass. They use Expedition Map. They find Urza's Mine. They play it. And another map. Okay. We draw land number 4. We'll play that. Go to combat. Swing. We'll play another Putrid Goblin here. I think I just want to keep the pressure on. They're already at 14. They use an Expedition Map. I have double Pyroblast in hand. I think maybe I was supposed to tap 2 Swamps in case I needed to hold up double Pyroblast, so that was a small mistake on my part. I doubt that I'll need double Pyroblast on their turn, but, you know, still a small error. Alright, so they played an Energy Refractor. We draw Bazooka Bog. Not really great in this spot, in my opinion. We'll swing. Our opponent's now at 10. Pass the turn. Another Urza's Power Plant, so they're lacking Tron right now. They play a Prophetic Prism. They have 7 in hand. On their end step, I'll float a red, and let's play Insight, sacrificing the bridge. They negate, I'll play Pyroblast. Counter your negate. Would you like to fight? They blue Elemental Blast, I will Pyroblast back. They still have 5 cards in hand. Now we'll draw 2. Unearth Skirk Prospector. So if we were to draw first day of class, we have a win. We don't. I guess I don't have... No, I do have the red mana to win. Okay, I lied. So what's the best play here? It might be to play Munitions, so that way I can eke them out on damage. Swing. They'll go to 6. Play the Makeshift Munitions. I'll play the Unearth. We'll get back the Goblin Matron. Yes. We'll grab another Putrid Goblin. Play Bazooka Bog. At this point, I think I just want the mana. Pass the turn. So we're representing lethal here. 3 mana for a Muldrifter. Evoked. So they could have played it as a blocker and chose not to. Ah, they have Ephemerate. Okay, that makes more sense. They play a land. And they have the blue Elemental Blast for the Makeshift Munitions. We rip first day of class, so that is the win. We'll play Skirk Prospector, sacrifice the Putrid Goblin. With the Persist trigger on the stack, we'll play first day of class, grab Introduction to Prophecy, and now the Persist happens. Okay. So we'll sacrifice this Goblin over and over to make infinite red mana. 13 minutes on the clock. We'll play the Stormshriek Feral as a creature for the first time this league. And then I will play a Putrid Goblin. And they concede. Alright, so we are off the game number 3. Yeah, I mean, I like our current configuration. I think we just resubmit and hope to get the 3rd game. Sure, we'll try it. There's this Power Plant. We'll play a Bridge, pass the turn. Another Power Plant into Prophetic Prism. Let's play Duress. I want to see what they're working with here. Negate Teachings, Gorilla Shaman, Bazooka Bog. Okay, we'll take the negate. Their hand is not very good. They play the Bazooka Bog. Yep. And now they can play the Gorilla Shaman if they wanted to, but they don't. We'll play the Swamp. We'll play Goblin Matron. Yes. Go grab the Putrid Goblin. Pass the turn. Actually, I was supposed to grab Skirk Prospector. It would have been better if I ripped the first day of class. We'll attack for 1. We'll play Makeshift Munitions. And then we'll play Chromatic Star. Pass the turn. I think we want to counterspell this Mystical Teachings, because it would get them Tron. It gets them Tron with selecting crop rotation, and we want to keep them off mana. They cycle a Lorien Revealed. Okay, they find a Rimewood Falls. So we know 2 of the 3 cards in their hand at the moment. Duress. So I don't know if you want to play Duress when we know 2 of them are creatures. So we'll move to attacks. Swing. Let's play Putrid Goblin. Let's fling the Goblin Matron at them. And then I'll play Unearth. And then we'll go select the Skirk Prospector. Okay, we're in a first day of class waiting room. They just draw and pass. Interesting. Another Duress. Okay, let's go to combat. Swing. They take 3. We'll play the Duress. They prohibit. I don't know what their last card is, but I don't know if I'd like to jam the Duress here. It feels a little risky. I think I'm just going to pass here. They're just drawing and passing. End step, I'll use the Munitions to fling Chromatic Star. So we'll draw a card and they'll take 1. We draw Rakdos Carnarium. Another Goblin Matron. Attack for 3. Let's play Goblin Matron, see if it even resolves. It does. We'll say yes. I think we grab another Goblin Matron. And then I'll play the Rakdos Carnarium. We'll pick up a mountain. Pass the turn. This has been a really grindy match. Ooh, they have the Breath Weapon. Okay. So I'll fling a Goblin Matron at them. My Putrid Goblin will come back, but I'm going to lose a little bit of power here. And now they'll be able to use the Mnemonic Wall to get back the Breath Weapon too. They play a Mole Drifter, so they're not interested in playing the Mnemonic Wall. Did you draw the Ephemerate? No, you did not. They're making a green mana. They must have drawn Crop Rotation. They did. Okay, so now they have Tron. They have 5 colorless mana this turn. They play a map. Okay. Sure. So they have 1 unknown card in their hand. And they play Island. Okay. Pyroblast. So that can counter the Mnemonic Wall. That's good. We'll play the Mountain. I would like to duress them because I'd like to know what I'm up against here. If I decide to play out these creatures. 3 mana. Unwind. I know the last 2 cards, so I'm not going to Pyroblast this. We'll attack for 1. They'll go to 8. Swing. And then I'll play a Goblin Matron. We'll say yes. And I think we want another Goblin, or I'm sorry, another Putrid Goblin here because it just sacrifices twice to the makeshift munitions. And I'm going to play the Skirk Prospector because I know that they currently don't have a board sweep, and I can Pyroblast the Mnemonic Wall. And here comes the Mnemonic Wall. I will play Pyroblast. You drew a counterspell? They impulse in response. Okay. Pyroblast on the stack. And they found a gate. So that's annoying. They can now get back the Breath Weapon. And they do. They still have the Gorilla Shaman in their hand. We draw a land. I'll play the land. Let's attack. So they'll take 2 here down to 6. And then if I play the Putrid Goblin, I can still fling 5 things. I think that this is worth it. Pass the turn. So is it better to fling on the end step a little? I think so because it actually saves mana. So I will fling the Goblin Matron at you. Because if I attack, they're just going to play it then, and I'm constraining myself on mana, and I don't really want to do that. So now they're at 4. And I'll leave this. So now we'll draw. It's another bridge. So now we can go to combat. And if they want to play the Breath Weapon, they're essentially using a 1-for-1. And now I can tap this. Target you with the munitions. We'll fling the Putrid Goblin. So they'll go to 3. Target them with the munitions, sacrificing Putrid Goblin. Persist. What is this? Flashback Mystical Teachings? Do you have Ghostly Flicker as your 1 unknown? No way! No way! Can we still beat this? I think we can. I think we can. So they're getting back Ghostly Flicker. I mean, our opponent drew well this round, but I think we're still going to get it. So they go to 2. And then I can play the bridge. And then let's play Putrid Goblin. I think we just have it here. They're going to Ghostly Flicker in response. We'll just kill them. So we'll fling a bridge. Fling a bridge. We got there. Bryant Cook. I mean, I attacked, right? So now we're 2-0 in this Pauper League with Goblins. The deck feels pretty good to me. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. But for now, we're going to hop on into the 3rd round. I'll see you there. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Round number 3, we're facing Kelly Kai's, aka Jacob, who actually lives like a 5-minute drive away from me. I told him bad luck, no fun in the chat, just trying to, joke around a little bit. I have no idea what they're playing today, and I guess we'll find out. I'm currently undefeated. I would like to keep it that way. Alright, so we've opened up a hand. It has lands and spells we'll keep. Not a lot of combo pieces, unfortunately. Jacob usually likes to play combo, but I'm not sure what they're playing today. Colony Garden, okay. Interesting. We'll play Swamp, pass the turn. Mountain, Prophetic Prism. I have no idea at the moment. Putrid Goblin, that's a draw. We'll play the Ichor Wellspring. Skirk Prospector, so now we're a first day of class away from greatness. Making a black mana. for a Fanatical Offering. Is this Jund Wildfire with artifacts? I haven't seen any artifact lands yet, so maybe not. I also don't think they play Greedy Freebooter. I'll play Swamp and Skirk Prospector, and then on the end step I'll play the Eviscerator's Insight. They play another Prophetic Prism. Different set, though. Come on. What are we doing here? Pilipala. Okay, so this is some sort of weird combo deck. I'm not exactly sure what Jacob's doing, but it's clearly a combo. We'll sacrifice the Ichor Wellspring. Looking for first day of class. We find a Goblin Matron. 2 Duress. That is a card I'm interested in here. We'll play our land. Play Duress. And look at nothing. Okay. What to do, what to do. I think maybe it's another... No, maybe we want to maximize our mana and play Goblin Matron? I'm not sure. It also gives me an additional red for later. It thins our deck a little bit. We'll grab a backup Skirk Prospector because we did see the Shambling Ghast in there in case my Skirk Prospector dies. The map token on the Pilipala. Okay. 3 mana here to cycle a Twisted Landscape. And there's a Shambling Ghast. So I believe I know that there's still one more Twisted Landscape in there. We find the Stormshriek Feral. We'll play that. Discard a Putrid Goblin because I could always unearth it back. I did not find the first day of class. Let's play Dark Dweller Oracle. And we'll play Unearth, getting back the Putrid Goblin. Pass the turn. 3 mana for cycling the other Twisted Landscape. So I don't know any of the cards in the hand anymore. So next turn might be a good turn to play the Duress. Jacob uses Flush Out as well. We'll take 2 down to 15. And there it is. Play Duress. 2 more copies of Pilipala. Or Pilipala. I don't know how to say it. I don't know words. And now we'll play first day of class. And this is the win. And Jacob concedes. Nice. Still no real idea what's going on over there. But I might want to braid. I'm not really sure. I could also just resubmit with the same deck because I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know. A braid can beat a Nile Spellbomb too, so maybe we do want it. I'm just not sure what to actually cut. I feel like I want the copies of Duress. I could try trimming 2 Stormshriek Feral, but I mean, I think that's a card I really like. Maybe 2 copies of Ichor Wellspring. I'm sure a lot of people are just going to tell me in the comment section how bad I am, but I think that now without Deadly Dispute, Ichor Wellspring lost a lot of value. So I'm reevaluating how I think about cards. We'll select Keep. And without the Deadly Dispute, I think Ichor Wellspring gets a lot worse with just 4 copies of Eviscerator's Insight, which is a really slow card in a matchup that could be fast because I believe we're facing a combo deck. So these are all things that I'm thinking about instead of just going, card good, no, card bad. Like, I don't think that's actually a way to get better at this game or a way to win matches. So we lose our copy of first day of class. I'll play a bridge, pass the turn, land 2 Ichor Wellspring. We'll play my own copy of Ichor Wellspring. Bojuka Bog. Conley Garden. Ephemerate Fiend. Okay. Takes the other Ichor Wellspring. We draw first day of class, but that doesn't really help me here. Let's play the Rakdos Carnarium. Pick up the mountain, pass the turn. Another Ichor Wellspring. Swamp, 3 cards left over there. We'll take 1 from the Mesmeric Fiend. Replay the mountain. We're 1 piece away from victory. We'll play Dark Dweller Oracle, pass the turn. No, a second Duress. So I think what I'm actually supposed to do here is try to filter with the first day of class. So I will discard a bridge and draw a card. We draw makeshift munitions, so that actually doesn't help me here. Bummer. Okay. Unfortunate. That was actually like worst case scenario because this is my win. It doesn't use combat, and it's my only removal in the deck for Mesmeric Fiend. We draw an Insight. Play the mountain. We'll play Putrid Goblin. Attack for 2. Pass the turn. Jacob just passes on the end step. We'll play the Eviscerator's Insight, sacrificing the Ichor Wellspring. We'll draw a card. Another land. Alright, lots of lands. Another Rakdos Carnarium. We'll play the Goblin Matron. Yes. We'll go grab a Skirk Prospector. Play the Rakdos Carnarium, picking up a mountain. We'll attack for 4. Pass the turn. Jacob with 4 cards in hand. 3 now. We draw Duress. Let's play it. I'd like to know what's going on over there. 4 mana for a Snuff Out. I'll sacrifice the Dark Dweller Oracle to itself. We reveal a Goblin Matron. Okay, so this is the other part of the combo piece with the Pala. So it makes infinite mana and has reach. We'll discard that. We'll play Goblin Matron. Yes. Grab another Goblin Matron. We'll play Skirk Prospector. Play Mountain, I guess. Go to combat. We'll swing. Maybe I shouldn't have played the Skirk Prospector. That was a mistake. Not punish because Jacob does not block. 2 mana for an Eviscerator's Insight. So Jacob is now back in this game drawing 3 cards. Prophetic Prism. Sure. Swamp. 2 mana again. For Flush Out. Sure. Gets rid of Basic Forest. Another Skirk Prospector. Okay. Let's play Swamp. I think I'm just going to go to combat. Swing. Shambling Gas on the Goblin Matron. And now, so that way it doesn't die, I'm going to Eviscerator's Insight, sacrificing that Goblin Matron. So combat damage will not happen to the Shambling Gas. We draw Duress and another Insight. Let's play the Duress. Take the Ichor Wellspring. And we'll pass the turn. 5 mana. Flashback Eviscerator's Insight with the Ichor Wellspring. Yep. Maybe I should have sequenced that turn differently so I could play the Bazooka Bog. That's maybe an error on my part. And now I will Eviscerator's Insight, sacrificing the bridge. I think I'd still like the Goblin Matron. Double Unearth. Okay. Another Goblin Matron. We're down 2 copies of First Day of Class, so I'm not surprised we haven't drawn another. I think I'm supposed to just attack out. Like, I don't actually care at this point if Shambling Gas kills Skirk Prospector because I have so many redundant pieces. So now the Shambling Gas. I will Eviscerator's Insight to sacrifice the Goblin Matron. Still no First Day of Class. Play the Swamp. We'll Unearth to get back Dark Dweller Oracle. Unearth to get back Skirk Prospector. And then we'll play Chromatic Star. Hopefully Jacob doesn't have whatever this deck does to win, because I don't know what it does. It clearly does something with Careful Cultivation, but I don't know exactly what. Stormshriek Feral to discard a card and draw 2. Ichor Wellspring for red. Bitter Reunion. Okay. And Duress. I have no spells. Sorry. Land for turn. And Shambling Gas is back. 2 cards left in hand. A Braid. So that can interact with the Pala. Or I can kill them as Mirror Fiend. I forgot about the Abrades to interact there. What to do? I think we start by cycling the Chromatic Star. Let's see what my draw is. Another Unearth. We will destroy the Pala. Go to combat. Attack for 5. Blocks the Dark Dweller Oracle. Takes 3. So down to 4. And then it's going to put a -1 counter on the Dark Dweller Oracle. I'll just sacrifice it to itself. We reveal a Swamp. We'll play the Swamp. Play Goblin Matron. Say yes. Grab another Putrid Goblin. Play Putrid Goblin. And then we'll Unearth on the Goblin Dark Dweller again. Or Dark Dweller Oracle. I always say the name wrong. I can't help myself. Okay, so you either have the win or you don't. Eviscerator's Insight, sacrificing Ichor Wellspring. Snuff Out on the Dark Dweller Oracle. Okay. And now another Duress. I still don't have any spells, sorry. All 4 copies of Duress this game. And the Pala is back. What to do? I guess I'll start with a Goblin Matron. Say yes. Go grab a Skirk Prospector, and then I'm going to Eviscerator's Insight, sacrificing the Goblin Matron. See if I draw in the First Day of Class. I don't, but I do draw into a Stormshriek Feral, which has haste. So we'll play that. Big Dragon. Big Dragon go burr. Swing. And we got the match win. How about that? We're now 3-0 with Pauper Goblins.
you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us.
Match number 4. Still playing Pauper Goblins, undefeated. What a hand. If we had lands, we have to send it back. Okay, so this one's fine. We'll put the Dark Dweller Oracle on the bottom. We'll play the bridge and pass the turn. Alright, in match number 4, it appears that we're actually facing mono red this time, with a first turn Goblin Tomb Raider. We draw the Feral. I think I'm going to use Flush out here, and we'll discard Duress. Into double bridge, not a very good draw. They play a Mountain, Boundary Street Denizen, and a Chain Lightning. I go to 15, and then they'll attack for 2. I'll fall to 13 life. Another Feral. We'll play a bridge, and let's play Flush out. Discard the bridge. Alright, so we hit first day of class. You might be saying, why hold on to the Eviscerator's Insight? I didn't know I was going to draw first day of class. If I knew that I was drawing this, I would have kept the Stormshriek Feral. If our opponent taps out and I draw an untapped land, we could theoretically try to win. And I say try because it's not deterministic. They kick a Goblin Bushwhacker. So this is 8 damage. I suppose if they have a Goblin Grenade, this is exactly lethal. I go to 5. No Goblin Grenade. Unearth. That is not good enough here. So what I could do is just try to play blockers and live a turn. But at 5 life, I doubt that's going to work. And we'll Bazooka Bog them. Pass the turn, they have 3 cards in hand. Ren's Resolve, and they hit the Goblin Grenade, so I am dead. Unfortunate. We'll block. What stinks is I was actually pretty close to winning here if they didn't hit the Goblin Grenade. But sometimes that's how Magic goes, so we'll try to get the post-board games. I think we do want the Karkland Shaman. We also want the 4th Duress to protect our combo. So I think Eviscerator's Insight is just too slow in this matchup. That's a card that we can take out. I'm also interested in Breath Weapon. So the question is Insight better than like 3 random Ichor Wellsprings? No, I think I'm fine with this. We'll try this out. Or you could do like 1 Insight and 2 Ichor Wellspring. That might be better. We'll try this. No, maybe you should just have triple Wellspring because you're bringing in the Shamans. Alright, sorry I'm flip-flopping back and forth so much. Game 2 on the play. Sure, keep. We'll begin with Great Furnace into Chromatic Star, pass the turn. Mountain, and pass. We'll play another Chromatic Star and Rakdos Carnarium, picking up the Great Furnace. Pass the turn. They play another Mountain, Ren's Resolve. Is this actually just Goblins and not Burn? I thought it was Burn at first. I think I'm going to just play Goblin Matron here. And we'll search out Skirk Prospector, pass the turn. They play Reckless Lackey and Goblin Shredder. I'm sorry, Goblin Sledder. No blocks, I'll go to 19. We draw a bridge. We'll play the bridge. Play Goblin Matron. And I think I'll grab a Karkland Shaman this time. They play land number 4, still 5 cards in hand. And now they're attacking. Okay. I'll throw 2 goblins in front of the Goblin Sledder. The Sledder sacrifices itself to pump up the Reckless Lackey, so I'll take 2. I'm at 17. They still have 5 cards in hand. Chain Lightning brings me to 14. Yeah, we did see burn spells in game 1, so I don't think they're pure burn or pure goblins. And now they're going to the end step. Putrid Goblin. Let's play Ichor Wellspring. We find Skirk Prospector. Play the Great Furnace. Let's play the Karkland Shaman. And I'll attack for 2. Pass the turn. And step they draw a card and create a treasure using the Reckless Lackey. Land 5. They still have 5 cards. After a long pause, they play another Reckless Lackey. Okay. And now they swing for just 1. I think I'll take 1. I'll go to 13. My fear is them just burning me out from a high life total. But if I sacrifice my board to, you know, just answer a 1/2 that they can then sacrifice and draw a card, it doesn't seem very good to me. Another Skirk Prospector will attack. Maybe I'll leave back 1 Goblin Matron. We'll swing 2. I'm going to cycle a Chromatic Star to see if I can draw into something good here. We draw a land. We'll play another Skirk Prospector. Pass the turn. They sacrifice the Reckless Lackey to draw a card. They Chain Lightning on the Clan Shaman. That's fine. I am not going to copy it. I feel like that would be a mistake when my opponent has 4 untapped mountains plus 2 treasures. Now they play a Goblin Tomb Raider. And a land from hand. They have 3 remaining cards. Goblin Mog War Marshal. I keep on putting Goblin in the front. It's just Mog War Marshal. Sorry, I am still sick, and I'm sure I sound very congested. It's just my brain isn't all there at the moment. Goblin Bushwhacker. They have 1 card. This seems like a good spot for me to use the Breath Weapon. They'll end up with a leftover Goblin from the Mog War Marshal, but I think that's fine. We'll sacrifice Goblin Matron, sacrifice Goblin Matron, sacrifice the Skirk Prospector, Breath Weapon. And now they'll get a 1/1. We'll go to my turn. Goblin Matron. Let's make a black and draw a card. Another Chromatic Star. We'll play Goblin Matron. Say yes. Grab another Goblin Matron. And we'll play that. Yes. And now the question is, do you want the Dark Dweller Oracle? Or do you want Putrid Goblin? Or do you want another Clan Shaman? I think it might be the Dark Dweller Oracle. Pass the turn. They fling the Goblin at me with Goblin Grenade. They have 1 card left in their hand. I'm at 8. Let's play the Duress. I would like to know what the last card is. Is it a Lightning Bolt? It is. I'm at 5. Okay. We'll play Putrid Goblin. Play Skirk Prospector. Play the Dark Dweller Oracle. I just need to hope to be able to attack for lethal before they draw into enough damage to kill me. They just draw and pass. We draw another Skirk Prospector. What to do? I'm going to play Chromatic Star and then cycle the star. See what I can draw here. The Stormshriek Feral. That's a good draw. We'll play it. Go to combat. We'll swing out. They're at 4. Post-combat, I will sacrifice Goblin Matron to play a Skirk Prospector as a blocker and pass the turn. So they have to have 5 damage here, which I think is just Goblin and Goblin Grenade exactly, or like double Lightning Bolt. I mean, that could do it. And they concede. So we win game number 2 via combat. Never saw a first day of class. I'm going to send the same list back. Game number 3, we're on the draw. Here we have first day of class, but no creatures, no sweepers, pretty much nothing. Am I crazy for wanting to keep this? They've taken a mulligan, so I think I will. Okay. Great Furnace. Into Goblin Tomb Raider, their best open. Okay, don't love that. I was hoping for a slower start. We'll play a bridge, pass. I guess my best draw is Breath Weapon at this point, just to slow them down. So I'm hoping to play Ichor Wellspring into the Breath Weapon. We only have 2 of them. I'd also take a Clan Shaman, Ichor Wellspring. So we have 4 hits, really. We draw a Stormshriek Feral. I'm at 15. They draw the second land. I don't love that. Cast into the fire on my land. That's mean. Alright, so I'll take 3 down to 12. Unearth doesn't help me here. Play the land and Ichor Wellspring. Goblin Matron, so if I had more mana, that could get me the Clan Shaman, but because they exiled my land, it set me behind. So I'm just on the back foot at the moment. They still have 4 cards. A Wren's Resolve with a Goblin Bushwhacker and a Cast into the Fire. Uh-oh. They have 2 cards in hand. And it looks like they're going to attack for 3. This would put me to 9. And then they're going to pass the turn. First day of class doesn't help. My draws this game have not been incredible. We'll play Goblin Matron. We'll say yes. So I have an interesting decision here. So I could just grab Skirk Prospector, and then if our opponent taps out and doesn't kill me, I could theoretically present a win. So we know that they have Bushwhacker plus Cast into the Fire. So next turn they can kick a Bushwhacker and then swing out. So I might have to block anyway. Or I can try to grab Clan Shaman and prolong the game, but I'll be at a low life total. I think it's just Skirk Prospector. Pass the turn and hope that I don't die. They lightning bolt me. I think I'm dead. Goblin Sledder. And now the Bushwhacker. And that's 6. So that's lethal. The Cast into the Fire on my land did it. Wow. Alright, so they got me. We are now 3-1 with 1 match left to go.
With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week?
The final round of this Pauper League, we are on the play. Sure, keep. I'll admit, my brain glossed over this hand really quickly, and I was like, 3 lands, most of the combo, that's fine. I didn't realize I didn't have black mana, so less of a solid keep. I don't know if I'd still keep this looking back on it. Like, I like the duress still, but without the black mana, this hand is certainly worse. Because now you need to draw black mana and a first day of class. We'll play Mountain, pass the turn. Swamp. This looks like the black sacrifice deck, I believe. First day of class, okay. We'll play Skirk Prospector. Okay, so my sketchy keep looking a little bit better now. I just need to draw into a black mana. Yeah, this is definitely the mono black sacrifice deck. Okay. No blocks, I'll take 1. Black mana, please. Goblin Matron. Goblin Matron does not get black mana in this deck. I am not playing the Pilferer. I know that some lists play it, but honestly, I kind of think the card just stinks, so I didn't put it in my deck. Obviously, it'd be fine here, but I'm not really concerned with that. So I'll grab another Goblin Matron just because it's a blocker, and I think that's ultimately what matters here. They play land number 3, Mortician Beetle. Okay. Bloodthorn Vampire. Yep. And I'm going to throw the Goblin Matron in front of the Carrion Feeder. I would love to draw a Swamp. Pretty please. They're going to sacrifice some stuff. Surprise, surprise. Alright, Swamp. Let's see it. Ichor Wellspring. Am I dead if I pass the turn? Because I'd have to block with the Skirk Prospector, or else I think the Bloodthorn Vampire might kill me. But if I play Ichor Wellspring and then draw a tap land, it just doesn't do it. We'll play Goblin Matron. Say yes. I'll grab a Skirk Prospector, because if I need to block with both, I have both pieces, assuming I draw a black mana. They play another creature, sure. They have plenty of stuff to sacrifice here. So I definitely have to block the Bloodthorn Vampire. If I don't block any of these currently, that's 6 damage. But I think I have to, because I'm pretty sure the Carrion Feeder plus Mortician Beetle is lethal. Because each sacrifice is +2 otherwise. So we'll throw both in front. And here comes the sacrificing. Alright, well, it's now or never. Can we draw the untapped basic Swamp? No. Alright, well, I guess I'm punished for my keep. Although, it ended up being okay. Like, drawing first day of class was quite good. And it looks like we never had it coming either. Bummer. Okay. Clan Shaman seems decent here. And I'll trim, like, 2 Eviscerators Insight. Because we're facing an aggro deck. Like, Insight is a value card for grindier matchups. Here we have our Swamp, but our hand doesn't do anything. Mulligan. Sure, we'll keep and get rid of Bojuka Bog. Fire Swamp. And I think I want to sit on the Duress, which might be wrong. But the longer I can hold it for a potential snuff out, I think the better. I would get punished if they have a Duress for my first day of class. We'll play Rakdos Carnarium. Pick up the Swamp. Bloodthorn Vampire. Okay. They swing, we'll go to 19. We draw a Mountain. Let's play the Duress. Spinning Darkness and Village Rites. We'll take Village Rites. Play Ichor Wellspring. First day of class. Okay. They play another creature. And another. So they can hit me for a lot of damage here. I don't know if they will, though. And it looks like they're going to. I go to 15. Dark Dweller Oracle. We'll play the Oracle. And Putrid Goblin. Pass the turn. We know that they have 2 copies of Spinning Darkness in their hand. They sacrifice the Nested Shambler to create 2 squirrel tokens. The Spinning Darkness, the Dark Dweller Oracle. And now they're attacking with the Vampire. So the Vampire is currently a 3/3. They could sacrifice the other creatures. If they do, go plus, that would be 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. They would only put me to 2 if they sacrifice their entire board. No blocks. I'm at 10. Alright, I would like to draw Skirk Prospector, please. That is not a Skirk Prospector. We'll play Ichor Wellspring. Draw. Another first day of class. Ay. I will unearth on the the Dark Dweller Oracle. Pass the turn. They play land number 4. Still 1 Spinning Darkness in their hand. They're buffing up their squirrel tokens here. I'll block the Bloodthrone Vampire with my Dark Dweller Oracle. They sacrifice to make it larger. So this is me being a crazy person, and I know that this doesn't really matter, but the odds are that your top card isn't a Skirk Prospector. So if you sacrifice here, it makes it slightly better to hit it. So that's what I'm going to do. And we exile a basic swamp. I'm fine with that. So I go to 6. Bojuka Bog. So we will first day of class. And I'm going to discard the Bojuka Bog to draw a card. That is not a Skirk Prospector. Okay, I'll play Ichor Wellspring. Pass the turn. They pump up a squirrel once again. And now they attack. I'll block the Bloodthrone Vampire with my Putrid Goblin. I go to 4. My Goblin dies and comes back. We'll play Putrid Goblin. And another. Pass the turn. They're attacking with the Bloodthrone Vampire. I will throw the 1/1 Putrid Goblin in front. They still have 4 cards in hand. Another first day of class. I think I'm going to pass the turn. They play land number 5. And they just pass. Goblin Matron. There's a draw. I'll say yes. We'll grab a Skirk Prospector, pass the turn. So we know that they still have 1 copy of Spinning Darkness. So what I can do next turn is I can play I can play first day of class and then play Skirk Prospector. And with double Putrid Goblin in play, I can respond to a removal spell and make infinite mana. So I will play first day of class. I will select Introduction to Prophecy. I will now play Skirk Prospector. They play Rat Out on my Goblin Matron. Sure. First day of class. I think they messed up. They shouldn't have used this yet. And they concede. Nice. Alright, so we just need to get game 3 now. Resubmit. The final game of this Pauper League. So Double Duress feels a little awkward to me. The Bojuka Bog isn't great. Like, I think this hand is actually kind of a trap. Unless you're really leaning on the Stormshriek Feral to convert into other things. I suppose you have the insight. It's just, is this hand good? I don't know. Like, you have lands and cantrips, so, like, maybe you're supposed to keep this. I'm sure some Goblins expert in Pauper is going to tell me that I'm awful, and that might be true. But, I don't know. Like, this seems okay enough. They play the Nested Shambler. Clan Shaman was a good draw. Play Duress. Take the Supernatural Stamina. Pass the turn. The Mortician Beetle. And another Duress. We'll play the Duress, I think. Actually, should I just use the Stormshriek Feral? Maybe. Let's do that. I'll discard one of the Duresses. Pass the turn. They play land 3. And the Vermin. So they have Spinning Darkness and 1 unknown card. I'll take 2. So this could be an interesting turn for the Clan Shaman. I'd have to sacrifice a land. Or we could try to wait a turn and then set up Ichor Wellspring plus Shaman. But then if they have a sacrifice outlet, I kind of get crushed. We'll play the Clan Shaman. I really wish I had an untapped land here. And I think I'm going to use it immediately. We're going to Shaman. So from what I understand is they'll end up with just a squirrel at the end. And then I'll play a bridge. Let's play the Duress as well. Take the Spinning Darkness. And they just conceded the match. Okay. Good deal. So we got the 4-1. The deck felt incredible. Like, I think the one loss, yeah, sometimes bad things happen. Like, mono red isn't a matchup I wanted to face, and maybe my build is lacking in the sideboard for that matchup, I'm not sure. But I thought the Pauper Goblins deck with first day of class just felt really, really good. I'd love to hear your feedback in the comment section down below. Hopefully you enjoyed the video today. Friendly reminder to like, comment, and subscribe. That's an easy way to support the channel. There's other ways as well, like becoming a member, but I'm not going to do all that right now. I really do appreciate you watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, keep storming.
What you should do is like, comment, and subscribe because there's no better way to support us. And if you enjoyed this video, head over to moxfield.com and follow us there. It's truly the best deck website on the internet. We update all of our decks there regularly with the latest and greatest technology, so you're always up to date. Once again, go check out Moxfield, and thank you for watching.